Hello everyone, this is Eric with the Getmeouttahere vlog, and today I am at the Naperville Riverwalk here in Naperville, Illinois. Here in Naperville, Illinois. And we've had a lot of flooding. We had like 24 hours of rain. You can see over here some of the path is caution taped off. That's not because of COVID, it's because of flooding. But it's finally beautiful out. It's the middle of May and the temperature has finally gotten into the 70s. It's finally feeling more like summertime, which is amazing. I love this time of year. The month of May is my favorite month of the year. So because it's so beautiful, we decided to walk around and just look at the many sculptures and statues they have here in the Riverwalk in Naperville. Apparently there's a lot of statues along the river. I haven't seen any yet, but we'll see some in a little bit. But because there's nothing else to do due to the lockdown that continues here in the state of Illinois until the end of the month of May, we figured we'd get out, get some fresh air, and look at some of these statues and sculptures that are lined up along the river edge. So come with me and I will take you on a little journey here along the Naperville Riverwalk, see what we can find. Just look how fast the DuPage River is running right here. It is quite the current from the rainstorm that we had a couple days ago. I don't think you can rent kayaks here. Otherwise, I would be very tempted to rent a kayak and take it down the river. I love to kayak. My parents own a canoe, but I do like to rent kayaks from time to time. Taking on something like this would be kind of fun, but I don't think they rent kayaks here. I haven't seen any building or anything that has that. So look how fast this current is. You can see this water is flowing towards like this old mill looking bridge. There's people on it. Looks like it's about to get carried away down the river, but I guess we can go stand on that. Let's go check it out. All right, let's go through this old school covered bridge. It looks like it's going to get swept away by the DuPage River. We're walking inside. Being from Iowa, I love covered bridges. In fact, Bridges of Madison County is a really cool tourist spot. And I love going out there. I've been there before, driving the backcountry roads and walking through old covered bridges out there in Iowa. But here we are in the Naperville Riverside Park, and you can see they have a really cool covered bridge that looks like it's going to get swept away any minute by this raging river. Look at this. Any second this tree debris is going to come wash me away. Oh my gosh! There it is. Well, this is cool. Again, I did not plan to come down here today. My friend Bill and I grabbed some food. I just got off a 15-mile bike ride around Schaumburg and wanted to get out. It's beautiful. Wanted to get out and walk around, and we ended up driving south and kind of stumbled upon this park here in Naperville. I'm glad I did. Look at, I love covered bridges. Just check this out. I can't step further. You can see the flooded steps and this caution tape. But I love this. I love covered bridges. There's such cool, unique architecture. Awesome. Reminds me of Ichabod Crane. So here's a sign. You can see how big this park is along the river. Stretches all the way from here, following the DuPage River all the way to downtown Naperville. And there's a sculpture walk, so there's lots of statues and sculptures scattered all throughout this trail that goes through here. We're actually right here next to the Carillon. And this is a really cool bell tower that they have here. I guess it's very historic. There's not a lot in the US or the state of Illinois for that matter. So let's go check it out. So there's this massive Carillon here in the park. It looks really cool. It's pretty, like, almost like a Gothic architecture. Oh, this is gross. I really hope I'm not sitting in bird poop. I'm pretty sure this is just like soil. I don't know why parks do this sometimes. There's all these dirt clods scattered around the grass. I think maybe they do this to aerate the ground, but I could be wrong. I always hate walking in these things because they literally look like, it looks like Canadian goose poop. I really hope it's not, because that'd be a lot of Canadian geese. It's everywhere. All right, anyway. Gosh, that was gross. Okay, so this is the Millennium Carillon. It's massive. In fact, it's actually the fourth, one of four anyway. I can't 100% confirm this, but some sources online said that this is one of four of the largest Carillons in the United States. Now, what is a Carillon? A Carillon is like a massive tower. Looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. That is also a bell tower. It plays music, and there's usually somebody that performs on the bells several times a day. Unfortunately, this is closed right now. I already saved you guys the time. I went up to the door, and it is not open due to all of the COVID-19 lockdowns. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. I really hope this isn't Canadian goose poop. Anyway, but due to the COVID-19 lockdowns, it's not open right now. I think there's an elevator that goes all the way to the top, but I would love to come back and get a view up there. It's very, very cool. So it's one of four of the largest Carillons in the United States. It'd be awesome to meet somebody that plays these things. If anybody out there is watching this and you play on a Carillon, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. I would love to see what that's like. But here you go. This is the Millennium Carillon of Naperville. This is also the site of the first frame house in DuPage County. Apparently it was the home of the George Martin family. Built in 1833, willed to the city of Naperville in 1936, and destroyed by fire in 1958. There's a marker right next to the parking lot, and you can see the Carillon hovering over there in the distance. And this is really cool. They have a Riverwalk cafe here with some outdoor seating if everybody wasn't with the stay-at-home order and shut down. But you can see there's a beautiful view of the Carillon, the bell tower over there. So I guess under normal circumstances you can enjoy a nice meal, grab a coffee, and you can sit outside and have a nice view of this bell tower. Maybe hear the bells. Right next to the River Cafe, they have, it looks like paddle boats would typically be here. So they have a little pond here you could paddle about on. Again, right now with the whole COVID-19 shutdown, there's no boats out currently. Hopefully that changes in the next month or two. Maybe I'll come back and take a little boat ride. So I was right. They do have kayak rentals as well as paddle boat rentals here for a little bit extra money. Not too bad though. I don't know if I'm allowed to kayak on the river though. That would be the one thing I'm not sure about. You can see there's a sign here that says no bicycling, inline skating, or skateboarding here on the boardwalk, the Riverwalk. I guess it's not a boardwalk, it's a riverwalk. A brick pathway here along the river. But I just pointed out that sign, and the first statue I see here is of a boy skateboarding. So they have signs saying that you can't skateboard here, but then they have a statue of a skateboarder. I don't get it. Oh, it's a skate park. Okay, apparently they have a skate park, so it makes a little more sense that they have a statue of a skateboarder, even though you can't skateboard on the path. I don't know. I'm so confused. It's kind of cool. They have a checkers board here too, so if your old grandpa or grandma wants to watch you skateboard, they can play a little checkers and chess. They can play checkers and chess while they're watching you skateboard or rollerblade or do whatever you do out there. Skateboarding is actually something I've never done in my life. You're never too old. Maybe I'll take it up one of these days. Nice skate park though. That too does not look like it's open due to the COVID-19. Even though you're outside, I don't understand that. So this is really cool. You can see the pool right here, the public pool is completely dry, and then they have this like massive natural part of the, I guess, a pond that you could swim in. And they even, you can see that they have markers over there 15 feet deep. Let me zoom in. So it's like a natural swimming hole. That's awesome. I think there might be some high dives over there too. I'm gonna have to come back here when everything opens up and go swimming. You can see the beach is way on the far end. Here's the pool, and then here's like a natural swimming hole with limestone walls just off the river trail. So it looks like that beach is called Centennial Beach, and there's a placard here with a little bit of history on the community here in Naperville. And it looks like a little history on the beach itself along the river. I don't think you can swim in the river anymore. That's why they got the pool, but you can read some history about it here too. Here's the entrance, the formal entrance to Centennial Beach, and they've got some admission prices here. I will share with you. They have a resident youth and a resident adult price, $9 and $7 respectively. And if you're a non-resident of Naperville, you gotta pay a little more. $12 for youth, $14 for adults. Just talked to this fisherman out here too. He said he's caught smallmouth bass here in the DuPage River, but today hasn't had much luck because the water levels are so high, the rapids are so strong. Not a lot of luck catching fish today, but that's pretty cool. I didn't know that they actually had largemouth bass in the DuPage River. You learn something every day. Just noticed this cool little hidden sign on a giant rock, Centennial Park, 1831 to 1931. This was dedicated in 1931. That's pretty cool. So they had to like trim this massive hedge out of the way and put a stamp on a rock. It's very Alice in Wonderland-y. This might be our first cool sculpture of the day. It's a big, massive red thing. Kind of looks like an apple. I'm not sure what that's what they're going for, but it looks like a giant apple. I'm sticking with giant apple. Bill thinks it's two big red things welded together, or a heart. He also thinks it might be a heart. The sign here actually says it's landforms. I don't see that, but hey, use your imagination. I'm sticking with Big Apple, even though this is Naperville, it's not New York. It still looks like a big apple. Our second sculpture on the Riverwalk. Are you ready? It's a massive, I guess it's not that big. It's a plow. It's a sculpture of a plow. Not that exciting, but that's what we came across. A little gratitude towards the farming history of, I don't know, of Naperville. I'm kind of making that up. I don't know why they have a plow there. I'm assuming because of farming and the settlers that came here over 150 years ago. This is the prairie state, so that would be my best guess. So we've reached a dead end. This part of the trail is completely flooded. Only the ducks are allowed to get through. But what's kind of cool is if you look to my left, there's like a giant, well, not a giant, but there's a little bit of an amphitheater here. It's almost like a kiddie pool. You can like wade right in. But normally this isn't this flooded. Again, we had like 24 hours of rain a couple days ago. Ducks are enjoying it, that's for sure. on the other side of the flooded plain. They've got a do not enter sign and some caution tape up. Everybody has to stay back except for the ducks. You can see they're swimming around out there enjoying themselves. They're actually swimming by some stair railings that are almost completely submerged. The water's getting pretty close to that municipal building, but I'm sure they're used to this. If you're located right on the shores of a river, they're probably used to this. This probably happens, I'm assuming, from time to time. Some kind of fountain that's turned off at the moment, and there's also another covered bridge. I'm sensing a theme in this town. I love these things. I love this time of year. Look at all these beautiful flower blossoms. It brings the Riverwalk to life, makes it a little more magical. There's a lot of people getting pictures taken. I'm guessing graduation. But I love these trees. Petals are just scattered. Very romantic. A memorial to those who have died and veterans who have laid their lives on the front line. And actually this is kind of cool to have this here for Memorial Day coming up. Flags are at half staff. It's not Memorial Day yet, but it's that time of year to be thinking of those who have served, paying your respects. All right, here's some full-blown sculptures. Here's the Riverwalk Visionaries is what the plaque says. So these must be two of the brains behind this thing that helped develop this along the DuPage River. One of many sculptures that are scattered throughout this entire park. Naperville Riverwalk. You ready for this? This might be the most epic sculpture they have here of Dick Tracy. I even have my two-way watch right here, Apple Watch, but close enough. Pretty cool. So Chester Gould, who created this, is actually from Woodstock, Illinois, which is a town not too far away from here. It's actually the same town that Groundhog Day, the movie, was filmed in. And I guess one of the illustrators later in the 1980s for the comic book, the comic strip Dick Tracy, is from Naperville here. So that's part of the reason why they have this awesome sculpture of Dick Tracy. There we go. Here in Naperville on the Riverwalk. There's another sculpture here outside the library of two children reading. One of them relaxing, the other one reading while doing a handstand, which I have to say is very impressive. Very impressive. Can't say I've ever tried to do that. I definitely couldn't do that. It wouldn't be the same kind of form anyway. There's one more sculpture I wanted to show. I think it's over here. It's totally not over here. I'm lost. There's one more sculpture I wanted to show you guys. Instead, I thought it was on this corner. It's just a sundial of some sort. So I was wrong. But it's supposed to be around the library here. Apparently it's on the northwest corner of the library. I have to find this. I can't quit yet. I'm having a standoff with a squirrel. Hey, buddy. Oh, he's running away. He's actually starting to walk towards me. Do you live in that shrubbery? He lives in that bush. That was a little weird. I was literally walking across the library to the next sculpture, and the squirrel started walking towards me. I thought it was going to run at me. I wasn't sure, but I guess it might live in that bush. I don't know. That was kind of crazy. This last sculpture was tricky. It was rather a test. It's located near the library in the northwest. The Cat in a Hat. I just made that up. Yes, they have the Cat in the Hat sculpture near the Riverwalk. Dr. Seuss's famous Cat in the Hat holding an umbrella. So there it is. This is the last sculpture of the day here on the Naperville Riverwalk near the DuPage River. We found him, we conquered it. The flood didn't stop us. So I think now it's time for me to get out of here. I think the Cat in the Hat also deserves a high five, just being the Cat in the Hat. All right. I really hate it when parks have these, I don't know what they do to the ground. There's probably a purpose for it, and I really hope I'm not grabbing poop. But there's like all these little brown looking turd things. It's like they stick like something into the ground to uproot a bunch of soil for some reason. I've seen parks do this before, and I always hate that because it looks like poop. Maybe it is, I don't know. I know there's a lot of Canadian geese, but not this many. It looks like poo.